Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out something pretty unique in the desktop audio world, the FiiO K13 R2R desktop DAC and headphone amplifier. Now before we get started, huge thanks to Apple's Audio for sending this unit out for review. As always, all thoughts and opinions are my own. And if you want to learn more about the K13 or pick one up for yourself, I will have affiliate links down in the description below. The K13 R2R is available in both black and silver color options, so you can choose whichever one fits your desktop setup best. And as you will see in just a bit, visually, this thing looks really premium with its aluminum chassis and illuminated skylight style design. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed. Inside the box, you get the K13 R2R itself. And right away, what stands out is the circular glass window that lets you look straight into the circuitry of this device. It's a really unique design I haven't seen before. You also get a quick start guide, the AC power cable, an infrared remote control, a USB-A to USB-C cable, and finally a 3.5mm to 6.3mm audio adapter. And here's the FiiO K13 on my desk. It doesn't take up a lot of space at all. I could totally see this fitting in a lot of people's desktops quite easily without it taking up too much space. And the profile is quite thin as well. And overall, I do like the design of the FiiO K13 R2R DAC and amp. First impressions are that this feels really solid. It has a nice metal construction, clean machining, and it definitely feels more premium than a lot of desktop DAC amps in this price category. Now, before we dive into the ports and controls, let's talk about what makes the K13 R2R different from most DAC amps out there. Most modern DACs use something called a Delta-Sigma architecture. Delta-Sigma DACs are known for sounding extremely clean, analytical, and precise, but the K13 on the other hand uses a fully differential 24-bit R2R resistor ladder DAC design instead. According to FiiO, this DAC uses 192 ultra-precise thin film resistors across 4 channels designed specifically to create a more natural and musical presentation. And having listened to R2R DACs as well as owning an R2R DAC as part of my home setup, I can definitely say that R2R DACs definitely do sound more musical and more natural than Delta-Sigma amps. So now in terms of sound differences, a lot of audiophiles describe the R2R DACs as sounding smoother, more analog-like, and more organic compared to a Delta-Sigma DAC. Vocals and instruments can sound a little more natural and less clinical. So again, it really matters how you want your music to sound. Do you want it to sound very analytical, clinical, letting you hear the minute details, or do you want it to sound more relaxed and natural? Of course, sound is subjective, but if you've been curious about trying an R2R DAC without spending thousands of dollars, this is exactly the kind of device aimed at that audience. Okay, now let's take a look at the front of the device. Powering it on, you do see some LED lighting around the menu/input button, as well as the volume control and power button on the side here. And right up front, you got the display, which shows information like sample rate, gain level, output mode, input mode, and volume. And you got this interesting dual knob control system here. One knob handles the volume adjustments, while the other lets you navigate inputs and settings menus. For headphone outputs, you do have a 4.4mm balanced output here on the left. So you'll be able to connect your balanced headphones with a 4.4mm Pentacon connector such as this, and get the advantages of using a balanced connection with this K13 R2R DAC. And on the right side, you have a 6.35mm single-ended output. The K13 R2R also supports multiple output modes, including headphone out, pre-out, and line out, all depending on how you're using the device. One thing I really like about the K13 R2R is that FiiO packed this thing with features beyond just the DAC itself. You get both NOS and OS modes. NOS stands for non-oversampling, which preserves the original sampling rate and is often preferred by people who want a more traditional R2R sound presentation. OS mode, on the other hand, oversamples the audio up to 384 kilohertz for a cleaner and more refined sound presentation. So if you're using the DAC in non-oversampling mode and you want to get a little bit more clarity and clean up the sound a little bit, I do recommend that you do turn on oversampling mode. And then there's a built-in 10-band parametric EQ system. Using the FiiO control app or web interface, you can create custom EQ profiles, load presets, and even use audio EQ features for certain headphones. That's honestly a huge feature because it gives you a lot of flexibility to fine-tune your listening experience. And surprisingly, this thing also includes Bluetooth 5.4 support, which makes it more versatile than a lot of traditional desktop DAC amps that don't have any wireless connectivity. Now, I do want to clarify something important here because there's been some confusion online. The K13 R2R supports LDAC, AAC, and SBC codecs. It does not support aptX codecs, which is kind of disappointing given that I think more devices use aptX and only some of the higher end devices support LDAC. Kind of a bummer to see that aptX wasn't included here. But again, if you have a higher end digital audio player, for example, it will support LDAC. So you should be fine there. LDAC is definitely the highlight here because it allows for much higher quality wireless audio streaming compared to standard Bluetooth codecs. So whether you're streaming music from your phone, tablet, or laptop, you can still get a really high quality listening experience wirelessly. Now, before I flip this around and move on to the back, which has a ton of connectivity, I do want to look at this gorgeous top glass window here where you can see the circuitry. And I don't know if it comes off a camera very well, but it does have blue LED lighting there and it just looks really cool. I really like that they included this. All right, so in the back of the unit, you have all your connectivity. Starting on the left, you have balanced left and right outputs. You have left and right unbalanced RCA connections for line out. Then you have your digital connections. You have a coaxial in, an optical in, as well as a USB-C in. And those looking for a cleaner sound can use a DC input, which you can plug in right here and then just flip the switch right here to switch it to DC. Otherwise, you can use the included AC power cable to connect it here. And then all the way on the right, you have your power on switch. So what does this mean for the average user as well as audiophile? It means that you can use the K13 R2R to function as a headphone amplifier, a standalone DAC, or even a desktop preamp feeding powered speakers or external amplifiers. This thing is no slouch when it comes to power either. FiiO rates the balanced output up to 2,400 milliwatts into 32 ohms, which is enough power for a huge range of headphones, from sensitive IEMs all the way up to more demanding full-size headphones. You also get 3 gain levels, which helps the K13 adapt better depending on what headphones you're using. There's also some cool quality of life features here. The RGB lighting is customizable, including brightness and lighting effects. Of course, you get this infrared remote control. So if you set the stack amp, for example, with your living room TV, you don't have to stand up to change the volume or any settings, for example. You can do it all from your remote control. There's also a timer shutdown function ranging from 1 to 99 minutes. And the display itself is designed to stay on long-term without burn-in issues. So who exactly is the K13 R2R for? Honestly, I think it's perfect for people curious about R2R DAC sound. When I bought my first R2R DAC, I ended up spending close to $1,000. So this definitely is a better entry-level option if you are interested in getting into that R2R sound. It's also perfect for desktop headphone enthusiasts. Also users who want both wired and wireless connectivity. This gives you both. And pretty much anyone wanting a feature-packed DAC and amp all-in-one desktop audio hub. Price-wise, this sits in the enthusiast level desktop audio category. It's definitely more premium than entry-level gear, but still way more affordable than a lot of high-end R2R setups out there. And by the way, if you guys enjoy audio gear reviews, DACs, headphone amps, headphones, and desktop audio content like this, definitely hit the like button and subscribe because I've got a lot more gear coming soon. My overall first impressions of the FiiO K13 R2R are really strong. You're getting a true, fully differential R2R DAC design, powerful, balanced headphone amplification, XLR and RCA outputs, Bluetooth 5.4 with LDAC support, a 10-band parametric EQ customization option, the ability to turn on oversampling or turn it off, and a really premium desktop experience overall. Again, huge thanks to Apple's Audio for sending this unit out for review. If you want to check out the K13 R2R for yourself, don't forget to look down in the description for the affiliate links. Alright, so now I'm going to hook up the K13 R2R and take a listen, and I'm really going to look at how this R2R DAC sounds versus some of my other DAC and amps. They have that standard Delta-Sigma design, and I'll definitely let you guys know if I prefer the sound coming out of the FiiO K13 R2R. So make sure to stick around for that. Can the K13 bring in that perfect synergy with the JT7 to make them sound great at a budget cost? Let's find out. With the FiiO K13 DAC amp, you can set it to operate in oversampling or non-oversampling mode. Oversampling digitally increases the sample rate of the music, also known as upsampling, from something like CD quality to a higher sampling rate, and then typically applies a digital filter to smooth the waveform and remove unwanted high frequency artifacts before it turns it into an analog signal. It typically affects the sound of the music by giving you a cleaner, more precise sound, sharper transients, as well as better separation and imaging, often lowering distortion and noise. The drawback is that it may sound more sterile and less natural to some listeners. With non-oversampling mode, it skips all the digital processing altogether, often giving you a smoother, more natural sound, although it may not sound as clean and analytical. So first I will talk about how the JT7 sounded with the oversampling mode turned on. Honestly, the FiiO K13 R2R really hits with the JT7. You can really hear the detail and that deep bass at the same time. I definitely hands down like this pairing better than using the JT7 with the Alpha Pro. The amplifier section of this DAC amp is not as powerful as the other two DAC amps, so I did have to increase the gain to medium. But that makes sense since this is a budget option coming in at less than half the cost of the Alpha Pro and 1/3 the cost of the IDST3. The bass is deep and hits hard, although it is not as clean sounding as it is on the IDST3. The mid-range sounds very pleasing and I enjoy the vocals on this while listening to my music. I think the IDST3 does a much better job at making the instruments sound true to life, but the K13 is not that far behind, especially considering the lower cost of the K13. As for the treble, it doesn't reach anywhere the level of detail of the IDST3, but it's a lot better than the Alpha Pro in my opinion. Now, how did it sound in non-oversampling mode? The music does sound more natural, but is not as detailed as it is in oversampling mode. You also lose some energy in the bass region, so the bass doesn't hit as hard or deep as it does in oversampling mode. While this setting is more pleasant to listen to, I do miss the details that I can hear in the oversampling mode. I also like the bass better as it is reproduced in OS mode. I think non-oversampling mode is good if you just want to relax, sit down, and enjoy your music without paying too much attention to the details. But for critical listening, I would definitely suggest that you set it to oversampling mode. If I had to pick one setting to use, I would definitely go with oversampling mode. Now that I've heard the JT7s with 3 different DAC amps at different price ranges, I can definitely make some pairing recommendations. I would put the FiiO K13 R2R first as the best pairing given the price of the headphones and that DAC amp. You can get both of these items for less than the price of buying the DNA Alpha Pro just by itself. Yes, the regular version of the DNA Alpha is an option, but based on what I've heard, I just go with the K13. The K13 just brings the best synergy and makes the most sense monetarily, giving you the best bang for your buck. If you want to check out the K13 R2R for yourself, don't forget to look down in the description for the affiliate links. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.